So what does it mean if your home urine positive pregnancy test line is dark or faint? Hi, I'm Kathy Fray from Motherwise app, and I'm a senior semi-retired midwife and a best-selling maternity author. So welcome along. I often receive this question, I got a faint line on the home pregnancy test, so I did it again, and I did it again, and this time it's dark, but then a few days later I did it again and it's light. Oh no, am I miscarrying? Why is it dark? Why is it light? And what is it? Yeah, lots of freaking out on that one. It is possible to be pregnant and not have a positive urine pregnancy test. That's definitely positive. Possible, I should say. Yeah, so it is possible to have a false negative test, but it is not really possible to have a false positive test, regardless of whether the line is faint or dark. So that test is looking for HCG, and you only produce any real levels of HCG in your blood stream. You only find it in your bloodstream when you are pregnant. So all of the tests will say to you, it doesn't matter if the line is dark or faint. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if the line is dark or faint. It can come down to not just the quality of the test, but also how well hydrated you are. If you're well hydrated, your urine is more diluted, so your test could be, show a weaker line. And if you're a bit dehydrated and you really should have drunk more water today, well, your urine will be more concentrated and maybe your line will be darker on the test. But it's not, the dark and light lines are not any kind of real great indication of much at all. So just ignore those. As long as there's a line there, it's positive. Now, it is possible to, just backstory, when an egg fertilizes, around 70% of fertilized eggs never implant. So they're what we call a chemical pregnancy. And before the days of home pregnancy tests, women would really not have much idea that they're pregnant. At that point, it's very, very early on. The body is recognizing generally there's something not quite right with that particular fertilized egg, so it doesn't continue with the pregnancy. The egg never implants. And the body sort of naturally reabsorbs it. But if you are testing for HCG during that very, very early time, then you could get a positive result that doesn't end up being a successfully established pregnancy. However, around 30% of those fertilized eggs do implant in the womb and are trying to establish themselves into a successful pregnancy. And of that 30% that implant in the womb, about 1/3 of them don't continue on as successful pregnancies. So again, you're going to have HCG in your system, and it can stay in your system for several days or weeks or even months, depending on if you miscarry, at what point you miscarry. So it's about, really only around 2 in 10 or 1 in 5 fertilized eggs that converts into a successfully established pregnancy. And you have to just give things time, really, and just wait. So if you get a positive pregnancy test, you don't need to do any more home pregnancy tests. One positive is all you need. And then you just, after that, it's about giving your body time. Just time. And let's see over the next 2 or 3 weeks if the pregnancy successfully establishes. Yeah. So that's everything for today. Hopefully that's made things a little bit more clearer for you. So I wish you all the best. Bye, everybody.